because I was gushing.
Yeah. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Dirtbag Outdoors YouTube channel. I am here with my buddy Ed. You've probably seen him in some videos in the past.
Probably.
Yep, huge help to the channel. He does a lot of the shooting, a lot of the ideas and stuff. So huge shout out to him.
My pleasure.
We just wanted to kind of do a quick kind of impromptu recap of the NRA 2023 show. It was Ed's first time. It was my third or fourth time. And we kind of just got some talking points here. We got a bunch of stuff on the table. We'll kind of talk about it a little bit as we go. And let's get into it. So,
All right.
First and foremost, what do you think the process was signing up, like getting there and kind of going in?
It was as easy as could be. I mean, since we did the pre-registration and we got our passes mailed to us, I mean, we just walked right in.
Yeah, you can definitely sign up online with your NRA number, and they'll mail you the pass. You don't have to go through a secure. It's kind of interesting actually, but there's no security checkpoints or
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
They don't go through your bags. It's a little weird to think about that, but
because we left our pistols at home or in the car.
Yeah, we didn't.
I saw people carrying, and
Yep.
It kind of surprised me. But then again, I'm like, well, look where we're at, so why not, right?
Right. Yeah, true. The parking, we actually, I recommend doing kind of what we did. We stayed at a hotel downtown. We booked it like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months in advance, and we were like an eighth of a mile walking distance.
Yeah, 5 minutes
to the front doors of the thing. So we didn't really have to mess around with parking. We valeted the car. That's where I dropped my valet ticket in the urinal as soon as we got there. So I knew he was going to be off to a great start, but it worked out great. That's the play. You don't have to mess around with finding a spot in a garage, paying money each day.
Mm-hmm.
They do offer in Indianapolis at least free parking, like on-street parking on Sundays. Just a tip for you guys.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bonus.
Save you $20 at least, right there, probably.
How many people were there? Did you?
I heard there were 77,000 people total.
That's a lot of people.
And I don't know if that's how many passes they issued. I just Googled that last night out of curiosity because I'm sitting there writing notes, and it was tens of thousands of people that we saw.
Right.
We were there for 2 days. We didn't go Friday. Apparently, I guess there was a lot of people there Friday too.
Yeah, and I guess Friday too. We missed out on a lot of there's a ton of swag. That's kind of what we're going to show you here. Tons of stuff people give away, and I think most of the t-shirts go on Friday from what I was kind of eavesdropping and hearing. But
there's probably some gun giveaways because we entered a couple of them. Of course, we didn't win, but
Right. Well, sure, naturally. But
still fun to play.
Yeah, still fun to play. The food, there are a bunch of concessions and stuff like that in Indianapolis. It's expensive though. You're $6-7 for a Coke.
Yeah.
You're $12, $15, $18 for a little lunch. So just be prepared to spend some money.
You will spend some money.
Yes, you will.
I probably dropped $400 on just random cool stuff.
Right. And they don't sell guns there. You guys probably know that. They do not sell guns there, but there are some manufacturers and vendors, if you will, there selling knives and hats and sights and just random stuff like that. There's a few aisles of like taxidermy and like hunting. I don't know, voyages. What do you like? Hunting trips you pay for to go like hunt moose on somebody's farm or something.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some other stuff, some antiques, just
Yeah, there was some
lots of different stuff.
Yeah, some cool like historic type displays. I don't know how they make money there or whatever, but I guess that's maybe they don't. Maybe they're just showing it off. I'm not really sure, but there were several.
Don't take pictures though. Remember.
Yeah, don't take.
I got yelled at for taking a picture.
Yeah, we tried to take a picture of some really cool old Remingtons, I think.
This was an old Colt, I think,
okay.
but it was the engraving on it was incredible.
Yeah, and it's an estimated value, $100,000.
Yeah, $100,000, but it's 130 years old at least, and the engraving work on it was as good as some of the best stuff I've seen today.
Yeah,
so I was pretty impressed by that. So naturally, I tried to take a picture, and that was a no-no.
That was a big no-no.
Don't do that.
They're there for display for everyone to see, but not.
Yeah, God forbid you take a picture though. That's
that was interesting.
Yeah.
So as a first timer, do you think, like, I mean, I know it's hard when like next year it's in Dallas. It's gonna be hard for either one of us to go.
Yeah.
But Indy, I feel like I'm gonna go probably every time.
Oh, I would too. And you mentioned Louisville. That's about a 2-hour drive too. So I would go to that. I mean, yeah, it was my first experience, and it was pleasantly surprising. Yeah, like one of my main takeaways, it was approximately 77,000 people of all backgrounds, all ethnicities, you name it. A big smorgasbord of Americans. Everybody there having a great time.
Yep.
The only people that I don't think were having a good time was maybe the 3 or 4 protesters I saw out front.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 protesters, you guys that were kind of out there doing their thing, and the unfortunate part about it is I don't really want to get into politics on this channel that much, but if they would just kind of give us the time of day and talk to us like normal people and not like we're some crazy murderers of children and stuff, I think that there's some common ground to be had, but unfortunately, most of them don't see it that way, I think, just to kind of leave it at that.
And they've maybe got some bad information from somebody, but
yeah.
I can't think of a single NRA member that's ever shot up a school or committed any real violent crimes.
Right.
Because believe it, they'd be all over the news if they did.
That would be
the media would
big.
love.
They would love.
That would be their wet dream.
Yes, they would love to say NRA member shoots up blah blah blah. That would be.
But yeah, some of the protesters, yeah, man, if they were receiving some better information about the NRA and people like us that are members, I would imagine they would probably just come inside and hang out and have a better time.
Right.
But
see what's cool. There's a lot of cool people. The people there were awesome.
Yeah.
With the exception of a couple people like the old lady at the Colt Collectors thing.
Yeah, I mean she wasn't rude, but I guess they just have some policy, and I get it. Maybe if someone was going to take a picture of that and try to create a fraudulent listing or something and try to scam somebody, so I understand it. I didn't take it personally, but there was in that display case, it was probably as tall as we were, probably 5-6 guns per shelf. There was well over $1 million right there.
Yep.
That was impressive. Some really
tons
cool
of
stuff.
Money in that case.
Yeah.
Vendors, pretty much, or manufacturers, I guess you could say. All the big ones were there, with the exception of a couple. We did notice that we were looking around. Smith and Wesson. You guys know my relationship with Smith. It's a love-hate thing. I know it's fine. They weren't there.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah, they were not there. It was kind of weird. I figured they would have a big booth, like SIG or something, but they weren't even there.
Wonder why.
Yeah, Sky. I know Sky is a budget brand. It's kind of a love-hate type of thing. But for what it is, and from my personal experiences with that company, I've got nothing but positive things to say. They weren't there. They were on the map or exhibitor list, but they weren't there. It was some other booth in their place. So I'm not sure what happened there. But I would say pretty much all the other, like all the main ones were there again, except Smith, Glock. I mean, you name it. The list goes on, but all the big ones were there.
Yeah, it was 14 acres. That's how much real estate was there. I mean, it's booth after booth after booth. I mean, it took us the entire first day to do a 360-degree perimeter walk, and obviously stopping and talking and checking things out as we went. But I mean, 8 hours solid.
Oh yeah.
It took that long just to do the circumference of the parade or the show.
Yeah, we took an outer perimeter loop. We got a couple of little distractions going in a little bit here and there, but pretty much the first entire Saturday until they closed the doors was just us walking the outer perimeter. And then Sunday we kind of had a good vibe, a good plan from Saturday, but we kind of just zigzagged through what we wanted to see and who we wanted to talk to.
We kind of studied. We studied the map a little bit. In our spare time,
a little more prepared.
So we had an idea of where we wanted to go.
Yeah. Let's take a break from that and get kind of into some of this stuff on the table. All right, you guys can see guns, knives, hearing protection, hats, patches.
Yeah, I didn't bring any of my swag. I got 2 duffel bags filled with hats and shirts and all this good stuff. I mean, more stickers than I've ever.
The swag, it's off the chain. That's what I've never been to SHOT Show. My first SHOT Show hopefully is going to be in 2024. Whether I go through the gun shop that I manage or maybe some sort of as a media person, I'm not really sure, but I plan on going to SHOT in January.
That would be cool.
So I can only imagine, because that's way bigger than this even is. But I mean, there's just bags upon bags of koozies, patches, stickers, pins,
keychains.
Like,
keychains. It was like trick or treat for some grown-ups. That's really how I thought it was.
Yep, it definitely was.
It was a lot of fun. Certainly glad that I decided to come with you, man. That was cool.
Yeah, I will say this. I play golf. We actually both play golf. I'm an avid golfer. I've been golfing since I was a kid. I had to pick up this Glock golf towel. This was not free. I had to pay $10 for it. But
well worth it. I bought one too.
Yeah, I thought it was worth it. I thought it was cool. But Glock didn't really have anything for free. I mean,
no, just stickers and keychains.
Yeah, we spent enough money with Glock.
I bought a hat. And that golf towel, and I think that's all I bought from them. But
yeah, and I'm also surprised with Glock. They didn't have. If you guys don't know, recently released, and they do it occasionally apparently, but a couple of limited runs, like a Glock 17 Classic, which we actually Ed and I both own now. We bought one, and they came out with a Glock 28 or 25.
So 28 that
28.
I think is a new release. But again, I believe it's only through Lipsy's, which is the same distributor that the 17 Classic is coming through.
Yep.
So I guess they might make 10,000 of them or something. I think that's what they did with the P80. I'm guessing that's what they're going to do with the 17 Classic. And I heard a rumor that's probably what they're going to do with the 28. And but if you don't know what a 28 is, it's a Glock 19, but it's a 380. Same exact size, same mag capacity, everything, just a 380. It didn't meet some kind of import criteria when they first made it, so it was never allowed in the country.
Right.
But some of the Glocks are now being made in the United States, so there goes the import problem. So
don't have to import them now. So in theory, they can make whatever the hell they want to, and it should be fine. So they make a. I always get confused between the 25 and the 28. One of them is like a 380 Glock 26, and the other one's a 380 Glock.
Oh, 19. Yeah, you're right. The 25, which I don't know if they're going to make that. The 25 is the size of a 19. You're correct. The 28 is the size of a 26.
Okay. Cool.
So you're getting the same gun that just shoots a weaker caliber that's harder to find and more expensive. So,
right. Well, that makes perfect sense. So,
yeah, something I've got quite a few Glocks, but I highly doubt I'll be adding that to my collection. Yeah. Even if it was $300, I'd be like, I don't really have a use for it, but teach his own.
Yeah, but I was just kind of surprised they didn't have any of that cool stuff there. It was all the regular stuff that you go into your, like in my gun shop right now, I have 31 new Glocks in stock.
Wow.
And that's, they sell well. They're they're consistent sellers. They're good guns. They're nothing to write home about necessarily, but they're, what you're getting when you buy them.
Mm-hmm.
But they just, I don't know, they kind of let me down in the fact that they didn't have anything cool. I was maybe wanting to see like an original 17L in a Tupperware case on display or something.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
But but anyway, I mean, it was cool. It was still cool, and I got a dope ass towel, so I'm cool with it.
I like the towel. Yeah, speaking of Glocks, that was one thing we were going to talk about. I'd say a third of the manufacturers are copying the Glock 19, and I guess the patent expired, and now anybody can make one. And all these companies are doing some refinements. They're shaving the grips and making it a little more ergonomic, and some of them felt pretty good. But at the end of the day, to me, it's just a 19. But I lost count how many different ones there were.
What's funny about that is we both wrote notes like on our own time, and we both put a couple of the same points. There are so many Glock clones. I would say, and we'll touch on ARs and stuff here in a minute, but between Glocks, 1911s, ARs, and suppressors,
that's more than half the show.
That's
right
well more than half the show, if not 70% of the show.
Probably.
That's the show. So I was hoping to see a little more variety. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some really cool stuff there that's off the wall. That Mad Max, like steampunk style AK-47 from that company was awesome.
Yeah, that guy was making some neat stuff.
yeah, but
I don't think that was for sale. I think it was just for display, or maybe you could commission him to make something like that. But it'd probably be $6,000 to get an AK like that or something.
Right. But yeah, Glock clones out the wazoo. Absolute, like everybody is making a Glock clone, and I mean they all feel pretty good. None of them felt like bad or like nothing noteworthy. I didn't even write any of them down. I mean they all felt good, but some of them are $350, and then some of them are $3,000. You know what I mean? So I don't really get the price difference, I guess, when you could buy a Glock and then
do what I've done,
and then
just replace a couple
put
parts,
a couple $100 into it. Now you've got exactly what you wanted, and you save $2,500.
As far as all the Glock clones, I didn't see one that really impressed me.
No,
that is going to make me get rid of my 19. That I've actually done a few things to. I love the way this gun shoots. Trigger on it is awesome, and the ones that like a shadow system. Not bad mouthing them or anything, but this trigger feels better than theirs, and theirs cost
Side
way more.
note: some of the triggers on these things, and they're so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. Like people bash on Glock because the triggers. Well, it's the same on everything. It's not a bad trigger. It's a firm, but it's a good trigger. It's just a firm trigger. But some of these triggers suck on a $2,500 pistol. I'm like, I don't understand it. And not to go on a rampage here for a second, because I could.
One little replacement part in here cost about $25. Takes about 2.5 pounds off the trigger weight. This one is crisp.
Yeah,
so
that one. Yeah, that one's
this
really
one
good.
Feels awesome to me. So.
And if you guys go and build yourself a Gucci Glock and put $3,000 into your Glock, Just if you do that, just please go into that knowing that you're not going to get pretty much any of your money back out of that. I see it at the shop time and time again where somebody will have $3,000 in receipts for their Glock. All these parts they put on, this, that, and the other thing. And guys, it's no different than modifying a car or a motorcycle or something. You know, you can build a custom chopper for 100 grand, but at the end of the day, when you sell it, man, that thing is 25,000 bucks. It's a small niche thing. If you're going to build one, just keep it.
Because it's so personalized.
It's so personalized.
What you do to your Glock, I might not like, or
yeah, and you're definitely not going to pay triple the price if you don't really love it.
Nope.
They're a hard sell. So just keep that in mind if you're going to build your Glock, keep it, or know that you're going to lose your butt if you go to sell it. So this is one of my favorite 1911s. This is Ed's.
Your pair of Black Ops.
Yeah, this thing is beautiful. It shoots so good. But 1911s, it's like the new old Glock.
Yeah, everybody
These things
makes them
everywhere. I'm talking. Savage makes 1911s,
and theirs actually felt pretty nice. But they were $1,500
right,
for just a basic looking 1911.
Yeah.
So that's a lot more. When that gun was new, it was probably $1,250, $1,300. You know, a couple of my SIGs were in the 12 range.
Yep.
But
yeah.
But then we finally found our way over to Colt, and you know, Colt's got that name. They've been around for ages, and it used to make some of the best stuff. But I was not impressed. I mean, their revolvers, their new ones, they look pretty shiny and fancy and smooth. They felt great. I don't know if I'd spend $500 more than I would have spent on my Smith and Wesson.
Right.
But to each his own. But their 1911s, really expensive, and just it felt like it was machine made. It didn't feel like it had like the hand fitting that others did.
I have a couple of old Colt revolvers and I absolutely love them. But guys, I'm telling you, like I promise these Colts that they had, I don't know if they were well worn demos or out of spec ones that they didn't care about, or if they were their top notch production. I don't know, but they felt like crap. The $359 freaking Rock Islands were tighter and better feeling, better built than these $2,000 Colts. Do you agree?
I pretty much do. I mean, just standing at the Colt booth, you could walk 20 feet in either direction and find one from some random ass company like TSOS or whatever. You know, they make them, and theirs felt decent. And EEA. I mean, there was as many 1911s as there were Glock clones, or probably even more.
Yeah.
I think there's not too many of the big name gun manufacturers that are not making a 1911. Like H&K does not.
Right.
But
SIG does.
Taurus does.
Still make them?
SIG does. Yeah. Yeah, I've got the Emperor Scorpion. I got that compact one. They make some really nice ones. I'm real happy with mine.
Yeah, and that Remington, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I got a Remington hanging up on the wall over there. That was like an $800-900 gun, and this thing feels like a freaking one-off Ed Brown Wilson Combat Cabot compared to the Colts.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
the Colt. I mean, you could wiggle it.
You could slide.
It was like a 1/16 of an inch.
Yeah, you could almost slide a house key in between the frame and the slide on like all of them.
It just felt like it got assembly line processed, and that was it. Whereas all like we looked at Nighthawk, those were incredible. Some of those were probably $4,000 to $5,000, but just zero lateral movement, no wiggle in anything. It was as tight as a drum, and all handmade by one gunsmith. At least that's what their claim to fame is. Which
Wilson
cool.
Combat. Wilson Combat was cool. I think his name was Bill.
Yeah, we talked to Bill Wilson.
Yeah, we talked to him, the owner of the company. I mean, he was just a regular dude working the booth. You wouldn't even know otherwise, and that was. I thought that was cool. I mean, that he's still on the front lines, and that to me, I'll remember that. I just think that's something that I'll remember. He still takes pride, and he's still on the front lines.
And his, he had a couple of them that I was manhandling. I was like, yeah, I can see spending some pretty good money on one of these.
Yeah, and then you.
Then
you got injured.
A chunk out of my finger. Just trying to do something, and I pinched myself in a way that I've never done, and I've been handling guns for decades. So anyway, but staff member, he was Johnny on the spot with that Band-Aid and that paper towel for me because I was gushing. Didn't want to get my DNA all over all these nice weapons.
Yeah. So we covered tons of Glocks, tons of 1911s. The other thing that we noticed was suppressors, and I love to see it. I love to see suppressors getting out there. I think that they should be exempt from any sort of NFA stuff. they still make your firearm loud. You guys know that. I don't have to tell you. It's not some crazy ninja spy
It's
gun
not a
thing.
silencer. It doesn't.
Right.
It's not hitting the mute button. Your gun's still loud, but
Right. But there were tons, and like I don't even I couldn't even count over a dozen for sure.
Oh
I
yeah,
would say
some I'd never heard
suppressors.
of. I mean,
Yeah.
a couple of them that I've heard other YouTubers mention and try to promote. But yeah,
Yeah.
you'd think that'd be a hard market to get into. I mean, because your customer base has to be pretty limited. It's such a pain in the ass to get one. It takes a year and a $200 tax stamp for a class 3 or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a hassle, but
Like, who do you think had the best? I don't know if showmanship is the right word, but like the best vibes. What companies kind of gave you like, I really like these guys. I would buy shit from them.
I would say Rock Island. They put on a pretty good display. They were giving away shit all the time, and
Yeah.
every day there was like 2 giveaways of certain guns or shotguns, and all
Hmm.
their guys super friendly. I talked to a handful of them, and I didn't realize they made so many different things. Because
Yeah.
I had one of their 1911s. It was again, it was like a sub $400 gun. It was fun. It shot great. I just had
Right.
way too many, and I traded it towards something else. But they
Yeah.
have a new revolver, that little 9 millimeter. That actually was pretty cool until I saw the price, and I was like, wow,
Yeah. And that's
prices are going up. I mean,
they are. I actually wrote as a note on here, a lot of the Arms Corps, the Rock Island stuff, like there's the kind of that import stuff. I don't know if there are huge tariffs and taxes on imported stuff right now. I don't really follow that stuff that much to be honest, but
hmm.
their prices are getting up there with the best of them. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what that's going to mean for them in the short or long term if sales are going to drop, but like for instance, their 9 millimeter revolver, um, like dealer cost, I think was just shy of $600.
Right.
Um,
Which is more. I mean, if it was $400, I'd be like, oh, get me one. I just want that because
yeah,
it's something I don't have. I
and
think
the
it'd be
Taurus, I
cool to
think
play
the
with.
Taurus retails for like $400 or
Yeah.
something.
Well,
It's
I would go with the Taurus, even though,
and the Taurus is imported too. That's what
yeah.
I don't understand. If you guys know anything about that, let me know. Like, but some of that imported stuff is getting expensive. Turkish shotguns,
Yeah, anywhere
um,
from 200 to 2,000 or three
$2,000
thousand
Turkish
dollars.
shotgun that just feels okay. It's
Yeah,
kind of crazy to me. A lot of companies are putting their name on Turkish stuff or rebranded stuff. HK is a big one for their 22s. They don't make any of their 22s. They're all made by
well, either to SIG, to be fair, it's all GSG,
True.
German
Neither does
Sporting
Sig. Yep.
or
They're all made
Sporting
by
Goods.
like Walther or Umarex in Germany, I believe.
Mm.
They're all reliable guns, but a lot of people that are just unknowingly think that, oh, it says HK, it's an HK. I got an
Right.
HK. Well, you don't actually. But yeah, but like he said, other manufacturers do that as well. Just something to note that the imported stuff is going up, and I don't exactly know why. So if you guys know, let me know.
Got to be a reason for it.
Yeah,
But inflation, everything costs
yeah,
more. It's $5 for a dozen eggs.
right.
You know.
Yeah, I do agree with you that the Rock Island guys were cool, big booth, tons of stuff, lots of giveaways. The SIG guys were really nice.
Yeah, I
That's
enjoy.
where we actually met the SIG team,
Mm-hmm.
and I got my little swag pack here
Yeah.
with the
Got
autographs.
some pictures and autographs. That was cool.
Yeah, pictures and autographs of the SIG team,
Yeah.
Daniel Horner, Max, and Lena. It was just cool. That's all free. Jerry Michalik was there. We didn't get to see him though, unfortunately.
No, we were like 2 feet away from him, but he was busy, so we
Yeah.
didn't want to stand in line for an hour because there's plenty of people that want to talk to that guy.
Yep. Yep.
He's a legend.
That is for sure.
But we talked to his
Crossbreed.
daughter, so yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, true. Crossbreed, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Crossbreed. I do a little bit of stuff with them from time to time. They were a fantastic, ultra great group of people on the
Mm-hmm.
first time meeting them in person. It just further solidifies the kind of company that I thought they were working with them, but now I know for sure that they're a really good company. So shout out to Crossbreed. They actually hooked me up with a couple of hats. One of them's autographed by somebody here. We'll get into it in a second.
Hmm.
Um, Anderson. You got an Anderson hat on right now?
I do, huh?
Yeah,
Kyle.
Anderson.
We met Kyle, the guy that you done some
Yeah,
business
I deal
with.
with a guy named Kyle. He's like their
He's a
social media
super
guy.
friendly guy. We talked to him
Super. Yeah.
both days for probably, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes each time and
Yep.
just,
Yep.
shot the breeze and checked out all their products. And
Yep.
hopefully they'll keep working with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually,
That's cool.
speaking of that, the Kiger. I got that Kiger from Anderson via Kyle. Super great guy. Super great company. I've it's on the way now. The 9mm carbine.
Oh,
so that will
something new to play with.
That will be arriving hopefully any day, and we will be doing a test. That one's going to be a little different. It's not just going to be like a 1,000 round dump. I want to do a little more strategic. I want to do 100 round. What does a 200 round 9mm carbine look like on a target?
Yeah,
200 yards, and some close up stuff too. But stay tuned for that because that's coming. I'm pretty excited about that.
That'd be cool. But yeah, they seem like some nice guys, and hey, they're cool. I mean, we just live in Cincinnati, and they're Hebron, Kentucky, right?
Yeah, they're just right over the river.
Hour and a half away, maybe. So.
Yep.
They had mentioned something. I mean, when you originally talked about doing some kind of a manufacturing tour or something like that.
Yeah, I would love.
The whole COVID nonsense that messed that all up. So maybe they're not doing that anymore.
Yep.
But
if anyone else from Anderson happens to watch this, I would love a tour. My store is a local dealer of Anderson. I'm working with you guys on T&E stuff. I would love to just check it out. I've never seen in person like some sort of plant or manufacturing facility that makes stuff like this. So that'd be cool. Let's see. On the flip side, so those were some of the best experiences. Also, shout out to Cobra Tech. First time meeting them in person. Yep. Those guys are great, man. I'm telling you.
They were a blast.
They sold a ton, an absolute metric crap load of knives at the show.
I'm sure. They had thousands of them there, and
every single one. It was awesome. They had some interesting models that I've never played with in person. I've ended up going direct with them through my store to order those cool models, so I'll be able to stock them now. But Ed actually picked one up of their new ones, and it's a new take on Grandpa's knife.
Yeah, it looks like Grandpa's old fishing knife, but
it's got a hidden,
little more deliberate.
Yeah, it's got a hidden switch.
So I've handed this to like 4 or 5 of the guys I work with, and none of them could figure out how to open it until I showed them.
That's what it's about.
But I told them it was a damn switchblade, so obviously don't do it wrong because don't be an idiot and don't cut yourself. But yeah, this was cool. I saw that and I was like, yep, I need that in my life, and that's cool that you're gonna get a little bit more intimate with them and doing it just direct, so you can basically get anything they have, right? Not just something that your supplier would provide.
Their full line is open up to me now. I'm not just based on whatever my distributor carries.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna get another one from you.
Yep.
So
yep.
This one I'm just gonna keep to collect. I don't want to scratch it up and dent it, because I use knives all the time for opening boxes and cutting things up. So, but yeah, this is a good little collectible, and the price wasn't bad either. I think it was like $80. I think.
Yeah.
So maybe that was gun show price. Sometimes a lot of that stuff was on sale there this weekend.
Yeah.
Definitely cool. Yeah, those were cool guys to talk to.
Yep, very cool. Eddie Johnson, I think that's my main contact there. He was working another guy that's I don't know his exact position in the company. Maybe he owns it for all I know. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, but he was there working the front lines, and it's good to see that stuff, man. A lot of these people, they just send their little
their sales rep,
and I don't know. It just makes a more intimate relationship and just better vibes all around.
No, I agree. You get more confidence buying from somebody like, hey, I made this, not like some random guy over here made it and sold it to Jim, who sold it to Todd, and now I'm selling it to you.
Yep. On the flip side of that, I noted one brand, and I think I saw it on your notes as well, for kind of the worst. Like, we were expecting something not like great, like fantastic or out of this world experience, but we got kind of a negative experience, actually, in my opinion, to be like on the front line of your company that is a huge, very well-known company, where I've owned several of their guns. You still do.
Yeah.
And they're not cheap. I don't know. I guess I just would have expected a little better front-facing people, to be totally honest. Just to throw that out there. I don't know if they were just having a bad day, but it was literally like all of them.
I thought about that too. Okay, we're talking about HK, Heckler and Koch, right?
Yes, HK.
I still got 3 of them. But when you're talking to these guys saying, yes, I have this, and okay, show me this, and the guy I talked to was just kind of,
what's the difference in the LEM trigger and this and that?
It just didn't really seem like he wanted to talk. I mean, it was day 3. He probably talked to 77,000 people.
Right.
Maybe he was just tired. Maybe he was having a bad day. Maybe he didn't get enough sleep. I don't know.
Right.
But I didn't talk to all of them, but
they were all talking to each other a lot.
Yeah.
Just guys, it's just an observation. I'm not saying anything. There's a lot of HK fanboys out there. I wish I still had my Mark 23. That gun was freaking badass, and a few months after I traded it, the gun's gone up over $1,000 in value.
Yeah, the one they had was like $2,600, I think.
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
That's
I didn't pay anywhere near that when I bought mine, so I kicked myself in the butt for that. But
yeah,
I don't know, it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth that their guns are so expensive. You'd expect like a little better service. I don't know. Like you buy a BMW, yeah, you're at the dealership a lot, but in theory, you're paying for that luxury kind of experience at the dealership, the coffee, the donuts, the free loaner car, yada yada
yeah,
yada.
yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah, and they didn't have any. I mean, they had a couple stickers. That's it. They didn't have like accessories. I was thinking maybe because the whole HK parts thing, you can buy all this really cool shit like
yeah,
trigger jobs and all this stuff, but
it's
maybe
true.
that's a separate entity. I don't know, but I was kind of hoping to see some of that because I've got the P30L and I turned it into the John Wick 1 gun. I was kind of thinking that you would see something like that at a display,
Yeah,
saying, "Hey, you can take this $800 gun and spend another couple $100, and now you got one of John Wick's guns."
right.
So they
Yeah,
didn't have anything like that. They didn't have any magazines for sale. No, none of their accessories or any swag, hats, shirts, anything like that. 'Cause I might have bought one if they did, but
right,
not after that guy was kind of grouchy. I'm just like,
right.
yeah, let's move on. So
Let's see. What did you think of? I just posted a YouTube short about it. It's taken off pretty well, but Henry, lever action Henry, Golden Boy, Big Boy, Henry lever action rifles. They're making revolvers now, and guys, I'm not, I'm not feeling it. I'm not vibing. They look like $100 1980s import revolver. They don't feel that great. The action was smooth,
yeah,
but the ergonomics were bad, in my opinion.
knowing
Um,
Henry, I'm sure it's made to extremely high quality, but yeah, it does sort of seem like sort of a retro design. It didn't look modern to me.
no,
And something about like the hammer felt really like the
the hammer was
spur
like
was
just a
way too
nub.
long, or well, one of them was like way too long. Maybe that one was like way too
I think it
short.
was way too short.
Yeah, I'd have to look at a
Yeah,
picture of one or something. But I mean, I held it, and I won't be buying one.
yeah,
Sorry,
same.
sorry, Henry.
And I don't know what they go for, but knowing Henry, I bet you that's got to be $1,000.
Probably. Yeah, I would say so.
So
It's hard to get a good revolver for less than that.
yeah, yeah. All right,
But yeah, there was Taurus. We talked to several of their guys. They had some pretty cool stuff. I
yeah.
wasn't always the biggest Taurus fan, but now I have a few.
Mhm.
But yeah, you can get some pretty good value. Some of their revolvers feel pretty good. I mean,
Yeah,
but now they're making the big boys like the 500 and the 460, and I think those are 12 or 1300
yeah,
bucks, and
they're not
that's
cheap.
that's
Yeah,
almost the same price as
they're coming up
the
to like
Smiths.
Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest, guys. If a Taurus is $1,200, and let's just say 500 Magnums, $1,500, and the Taurus 500 Magnums, $1,500. I think we're probably all going to go to the Smith
yeah,
just
the
because we
triggers
know the
so much
the
better.
the triggers are typically a little better, and ultimately resale and collectability.
And the finishes are better polished and
Yeah.
it's more refined.
All right. I,
But
I would just think that being I use this term loosely, but being an off brand, you would I guess kind of your selling point would be price. And when you're competing with the big dogs,
yeah,
you need to have something that is better than the big dogs to compete, in my
right.
opinion.
Well, I mean, a Glock is roughly 550, 600 bucks
Hmm.
average Glock. You can get a Taurus G3 for 250.
Yeah, or last
Half
230
the price.
sometimes. Yeah.
I've got one now. I haven't shot it yet, but it feels like it's probably a pretty decent gun. So next
Yeah.
time we go shooting, break that thing in, see how I like it.
Yep. Definitely. We saw when we were around all over the place getting the swag and meeting the SIG people. Actually, before the SIG people, we met um, Scott from Kentucky Ballistics,
Just put a thumb in it, buddy.
and that was freaking dope.
That was cool. He's a nice guy.
He's a super nice guy.
He's
He's
a
freaking jacked.
big dude.
He's a big dude.
He's bigger than he looks on the.
Yeah, I'm. If you guys follow my Facebook, I took a picture with him. I'm about 6'2", and he edged me out a little bit in height still, and but just like big dude, just a massive dude, and then, like just seeing him was cool. He seems to be a very down to earth kind of normal dude.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, we just walked upon him right at the right time. There was two or three
yeah,
people standing in front talking to him. We just hung out for five, and then we probably talked to him 5 minutes each, and
yep,
said, "Hey, man, keep up the good work. Love your channel."
yep,
So
yeah. He signed my hat. This crossbreed gave me this hat. Got the Kentucky Ballistics autograph right there. That's pretty sweet. I'll be keeping that on the
hang
on
that
the
up.
on the wall back there.
Yep.
Yep. We got some Kentucky Ballistics at the Underwood booth. They had some patches and koozies and stuff.
I got 15 beer koozies. Some of them I can't even remember what they are. There's so many different brands.
Yep, I got a slap. We got slap koozies.
I like that one. Yeah, that fight night or something like that.
Night Vision.
Well, no, there was. I'd have to look. Yeah, there was a night vision. That was some kind of night sights or something like that.
Yeah, night vision. Yeah, they make night sights. They actually seem really nice too, by the way.
They seem really bright and clear. So.
Yeah, I don't have any experience with them, but night vision. Shout out to you. You guys. It seems like you guys make some really nice stuff. Fight Light.
That was the one that I got the slap around one. I think was from them.
Fight Light. If you guys don't know this company, they make some pretty cool stuff. I think I'm gonna try to be a dealer for them, for the shop. They make like lever action ARs, and
they had some stuff I'd never seen before.
Yeah,
that was refreshing because everybody else is making Glocks and making 1911s. These guys are thinking outside the box.
They had a dual feed. They had dual feed ARs. Now I think they were kind of like military based because they were like $9,000.
There was like that belt fed one where you could run a mag or you could run the belt fed, but yeah, that upper was $7,000. I asked him. I said, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
I guess I'm not
dual feed, belt feed, or magazine fed. And it's freaking awesome, but yeah, I mean, $10,000. That's
cost prohibitive for virtually all of us.
Yeah, that's not going to be up my alley anytime soon.
No. So but they had some neat stuff. Yeah, those.
Yep.
Like a lever action AR. I mean, who the hell thinks of something like that?
Right. And for states like Ohio, which suck, they make them in like 450 Bushmaster and 350 Legend, but in an AR platform, but a lever action receiver. So
y'all will probably have to look that up because you're probably imagining like what the hell are these guys talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain.
A lever action.
Yeah, AR look platform. Them up. Look them up. Shout out to those guys. I freaking would love to demo one of these things one day. But,
that would be sweet.
Yeah, shout out to them. That was some pretty cool stuff to see for a change. Who else was there, man? There were so many people.
Yeah, the Crossbeat guys were nice. I may have to get a couple of those holsters. I've got a bunch of We the People holsters and a whole box of others. You know, I probably have 50 holsters. Half of them I don't even use.
Right, that's how we all are.
Some of the Crossbreed, you seem to like them. I may have to get one for a couple things. We talked to the guys from RTS, the guys that sent you the bulletproof panels and stuff like that.
Yeah, bulletproof pillow. Video coming soon. I'm waiting on a mannequin. I can't find a freaking mannequin. We may not have a mannequin. We may just tape it to some water jugs. I don't know, guys, but yeah, RTS guys were great. They have some really cool stuff. They have
some of their clothing, not just tactical vests and plate carriers. I mean, we're talking some fashion conscious looking, like some shit John Wick would wear. You know,
bulletproof clothing. Yeah, it was awesome.
I can imagine it might stop a bullet, but man, that would
I'm sure it would break some ribs.
Probably crack a rib or two.
Yep.
Yeah, staccato. Yeah, staccato was cool because you don't see that stuff very often in most gun stores.
Yeah, there's a staccato patch. They gave us like 4 or 5 patches. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They had the Terran Tactical.
The Combat Master. What was that? The John Wick 3 gun, I think.
Yeah, $10,000.
$10,000 for that thing, but I'll tell you, that thing felt sick.
It felt so good, you guys.
This is a pretty nice 1911, but that thing just tolerances everything just super super tight. It just felt great. Felt like I think it had a 2-pound trigger.
Yeah,
this is probably 3.5, 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, the trigger on it was nothing. I can imagine. I mean, if I had $10,000 falling out of my backside, I'd probably get one. It was that cool.
Maybe one day. Kind of a bucket list gun, I guess.
Yeah, but speaking of staccato, okay, they make 2011s. There were a couple other companies that make 2011s too, but I guess most notably would be drawing a blank here. Oh, the Springfield Prodigy.
Yes.
I kind of wanted to check that out, and they had a whole bunch of them.
Huge booth.
Yeah, they had. Oh yeah, they had a massive presence.
It might have been one of the biggest booths actually, but
like all their rifles, every handgun they make. But
they had like 40 Prodigies and different variants, and different optics, and this, that, and everything on just several different wall panels, and the Prodigy felt freaking pretty good.
That felt good to me. I mean, it's a 2011 big double stack 9mm 1911, so I would not mind having one of those. That's something I don't have. I can't afford a staccato. There's another brand out there that makes them, I think, but they're expensive. But you could probably get the Prodigy for around $1,500.
Yeah,
which it's not cheap, but that's
it's
doable.
Not cheap, but I think
if I sold a couple guns, I could justify going and dropping 15 on that and having something new to try out.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of on my radar.
And side note, I didn't write them down, but talking about 2011s, the smoothest. Now, granted, they were used. They were like demo guns, so that could be why. Caveat there. Those race guns, those race 2011s from Phoenix Trinity.
Oh yeah.
Those were like a pinky nail.
Yeah.
Buttery smooth, like the smoothest action I've ever felt on a gun. Period. Even smoother than the staccatos. But again, they were used versus new, so that could be why I just worn in a little bit. But those things felt insane, and they're not cheap either.
No. Yeah, prices on everything going up.
That is true, and it sucks. We're all poor already. Let's just make it worse.
Yeah. I'll tell you one company that made a pretty impression on me was one I wasn't even familiar with, and I guess we'll start by talking about this. This is a SIG 238, little micro 380, fits in your pocket fairly nicely. SIG has discontinued this. Good to know. But the brand LWS Camp, I believe that stands for Larry W. Camp.
Yeah,
pretty sure that's what his name's Larry Camp, the guy that makes them. That gun is a fraction of the size of this, and still has like a 6+1 capacity. I mean, if I had one, it's half the size of this. It's like proportionally,
it's like
this
is half of that, and the C Camp is half of this.
Yeah,
so small, not cheap.
No, they're not cheap, but I never heard of them. I've been like playing with guns and doing stuff like this most of my life. I'd never heard of them, and they're not a new company. They've been around since the 80s. I looked them up.
Yeah, they're
all machine steel. I mean, everything. They felt great.
Yep.
I don't know how comfortable they'd be to shoot because again, they're so tiny.
There's no sights. There's no
sights, no controls of any sort. The guy was pretty cool. He showed me how to take it apart. It seemed fairly simple.
You just one pin, I think.
But yeah, that's like the ultimate in concealment, and I'm not gonna lie, I want one.
It was like a pack of cigarettes almost, like a pack of 100s.
Yeah, it is tiny.
Yeah, and it was cool, but they're $500, $800 depending.
Yeah, I think
and they're hard to get.
Yeah,
they're hard to get. Only one of my distributors even carries that brand, and they don't even have anything. I looked after we got back, and they're not cheap. But I would like to shoot one. They're so small. And still with 6 or 7 rounds of 380, that's in your pocket.
But they're all they make them in 25, 32, and 380. And if I was going to get one, I would get the 380 just because
that's the least bad.
The least bad,
right?
But,
I agree
you can imagine like sometimes watch those movies where the spy chick, she's wearing a dress and she's got her little garter belt under her dress, and maybe that's what they were carrying. Because I don't know, I just never heard of them before. I walked by them, I'm like, holy crap, look at the size of those guns.
It's almost like a. If you guys are familiar with the old Ravens, the tiny little like Raven P25s or whatever they are, the really, really small. They were junk guns though, but just that size, like micro. I don't know. I'd like to shoot one. They seem pretty cool, but they are kind of expensive.
Yeah, but they seem very well made, and I've been curious about them ever since. That's just one of the main takeaways. That's something I've never seen before, and I'm like, that's something I don't have. Kind of do. This is my smallest pistol. But that is a dwarf compared to this, and I just want one.
Yeah, I've managed.
Even if it shoots like shit, I don't care. I just want
one. I agree. I've managed a gun shop 5 years, and I've never seen one in real life.
Yeah.
So I forgot they even existed until I saw them there.
So. Yep. I was very impressed by them, and if they were a little cheaper, I'd be ordering one. But
I agree.
You're not going to find one used that comes in.
I doubt it. Like ever.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah. Let's grab that box up there.
Oh, yep.
So you guys have probably seen these Facebook ads all over the freaking place. I know that I have. Axil, okay, AXIL. They say that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread for ear protection with Bluetooth audio streaming capability. So, anyways, it was the last day. We were getting ready to leave, close to closing time on Sunday. And we happened to walk by their booth, and they had a really good salesman. To be fair,
that guy was he was a nice guy, and he definitely he got us to buy couple pairs.
So it was they're typically like I don't know $170 or something.
He said 190. I think the show price was like 140, 145 or something like that.
Yeah, and we worked a deal. We each bought a pair as we were leaving, and I was like, I just kind of threw out a number, and he's like, sold.
I was like, well, all right,
I guess we're buying them.
Yep.
So. I tried them for a split second, but I haven't actually an issue with mine. Not that they don't work, but they come with like a ton of different inserts that you put on them for your different size ears, right? So if you got big ear holes, they got big ones, right? So they come with a small, medium, and large, for lack of a better term. All right. Well, I got the large and I got the medium, and I think that I'm a small size because the mediums kind of work themselves out naturally a little bit, like they're not sealing very well. But I only have one small foam insert. They gave me 3 mediums and 1 small in the box. So I'm sure it's not going to be a big deal. I'm just going to call them or email them tomorrow and see if they can send me some inserts or something.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not a big deal, but
and we even asked the guy. We were like, "Well, what if these things suck? We don't like them."
yeah,
he's like, "Oh, just you can get your money back. Just contact customer service or whatever." So,
yeah. So if you guys have any experience with them, let us know. I'm kind of curious. Like I said, I did try them, and they did work, but I know they weren't sealing very well because I could just feel them. They kept sliding out, and when I pushed them in a little bit, and I got that proper earplug seal that you know of, they seemed way like night and day difference. So I just got to get different inserts.
Yeah, I haven't really tried. I mean, I messed with them, turned them on, and doing all that stuff. And yeah, you can tell it would work, but beauty of it, I mean, they're great for shooting sports and everything, but anything in general, anything that's loud. I work in construction and build stuff. I'm firing nail guns and circular saws. I mean, anything like that. And you can listen to music through them, still hear your coworkers talking to you, but when something gets loud and obnoxious, noise canceling. So
yeah, the
seems pretty useful. I think I'll use them for a lot more than just shooting guns.
Yeah, the sound enhancement seems pretty good. I was playing with them at the range today when I was checking out the new optic I was testing. They seemed very. There's like it's hard to explain without showing them, but on the one side there's a button, like an up and a down button, and that changes the magnitude of how much they amplify the sound, just like on a pair of Walkers where it's a knob. It was really nice.
So wireless, but they're wired together. But
yeah. One side is your noise canceling and amplification, and then the other side is your Bluetooth controls.
Yeah.
So I studied the manual for a minute and kind of.
I still need to read it before I really mess with it. But
yeah, let me know what you think.
I'm excited to try them. Just try them at work. Try them when I cut the grass with my noisy lawnmower.
So they got a good battery life.
If you 25 hours.
Yeah, if you Bluetooth stream, it cuts it down to like 7 or 8 hours. But when I'm shooting guns, I'm usually with other people. Music's probably not going to be a thing for me.
Probably not.
Cutting the grass, probably. But they charge via USB-C. So at full charge time, I think it was 1 or 2 hours. So it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, but anyways, we got them to try. We're gonna try them out. I seen the ads all over Facebook. We're gonna see if they live up to the hype. To be continued on that. So, yeah. So another really cool company, just as a side note, was T&W. You guys really love the T&W survival rifles. They're arrow rifles. I've got one in 10 mil. You actually have the exact same gun.
I do. I have the exact same one.
They're pretty cool. They're very fun. The barrel unscrews, fit them in a backpack. I just got a little Crimson Trace red dot on it. More than adequate. Takes Glock mags.
Yep.
So
I got one in the backpack.
Yep, they were there. Super cool dudes there too. They were, telling us about them. We were like, oh yeah, we know. I sell them in my store, and we actually have our own.
Yeah, I told him I had one. He was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sweet. He's like, oh well, cool. You guys get a shot glass.
It's like,
thanks. So we got a dope T&W shot glass. Thanks T&W. Shout out to you guys.
Very cool products.
Threaded barrel. I'd love to get a suppressor.
That would be cool.
I want to jump on the suppressor train. I haven't done it yet.
What are we waiting for, right?
Right.
It's probably not going to get any easier.
We could have had them if we would have done them.
Yeah.
But yeah, any final recap thoughts?
It was a great weekend, man. I always have fun hanging out with you, whether we're shooting guns, shooting golf, or sitting in the car just
shooting the shit.
Yeah, shooting the shit for 2 hours in a car going to Indianapolis. But yeah, it was a great time. Everybody there was cool. I'd go again in a heartbeat. Biggest gun show I've ever seen. Of course, I couldn't buy guns, but I'd be bankrupt if I was, because they had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, if they were like, oh, you can buy one of these C camps, you might have.
I would have been like, shit, where's the nearest ATM? I would have thought about it.
Just send it right to my shop, and
I'm gonna get in trouble, but yeah. But yeah, lots of cool people.
Yeah, lots of cool people. It was awesome meeting the SIG team and Kentucky Ballistics and St. Jerry.
You had asked before about like who I thought had some of the biggest presence. I would say Daniel Defense.
Yes.
They were a big player there. Beretta's their little showcase was pretty impressive. They spent some big money putting that putting that on.
They did. Beretta had a lot of apparel too for sale, which
they did
was interesting.
And some of those, I mean, dude, some of the sniper rifles and custom like long range rifles that we manhandled. I mean, they didn't. Most of them didn't have prices on them, but some of those were probably 10 grand. I mean, some of the machine work on those.
Yeah. Barrett was there.
And oh yeah, Beretta has a single action only now. There's 92 11, I think.
Yeah, no decocker because single action only.
Yeah, so you got to have it cocked and locked like a 1911, not a traditional double single like a normal Beretta. It's like, what's different about this? Why isn't the decocker there?
Yeah.
And that's the guy's like, oh, well, that's single action only. I said, oh,
yep.
Oh snap! Didn't know that was a thing. So
yeah, and to me,
it's pretty cool though.
You know, being in the industry for several years now, there's still so much stuff that I don't even. I learn so much every single day of what's out. I get emails and flyers and stuff from different places, and there's always something cool coming out. I'm glad that the industry is continuing to grow even through all the madness. Hopefully, it continues to grow. And I love the show. I'm going to continue to go. I may not make it to Dallas, but every time it's in Indy or Louisville, I'm definitely going to go for sure. It's a free event, you guys. I highly recommend it. You have to be a member of the NRA, obviously, and I know some people have their thoughts on that, but you do have to be a member.
If you bought a 1 year membership for $30, it would be worth it just to go to that show.
That's true.
Or spend $500.
Yeah, your crappy local gun show once a month is probably $9 to get in, and those places are overpriced flea markets.
Yeah.
Don't ever go to a gun show. This place was cool. Like it was awesome to see stuff.
I mean, a lot of the stuff there would not be for sale to us. I mean, there was like categories of law enforcement only. You know, select fire.
FN
had some badass stuff. I mean, manhandling those 249s and some of the big boys.
Yeah, FN and IWI.
Yeah,
they had a lot of cool stuff. Like bullpups aren't my thing, but man, they had some really cool stuff. There's so much stuff out there, guys. It was a really good time. I'm glad Ed got to go for the first time.
Oh, for sure.
And we'll be going again next time it's in Indy or Louisville. And
I think my favorite thing was basically 2 days, no computer, no phone. The only time I got my phone out was to take a video or take a picture.
Yeah, videos.
I didn't check Facebook. I didn't check my emails. I didn't make any phone calls. And then when we got back to the hotel the first day, we were like, man, why am I so tired? All we did was just walk around looking at cool stuff.
Dead tired.
It just felt like, to me, maybe it was just like mental stimulation, not going to work for 8 hours doing the same thing you always do.
Yeah.
It was just bombardment everywhere you looked. It's someone new to talk to, something new to look at. And I was worn out. I felt like I worked.
I felt
even more tired.
More so tired than it was like I worked all day and then I went and walked 18 holes and then I went to the range and then I had to freaking clean the garage. It was just tired.
But a good tired.
But a good tired, yeah. I mean, we actually slept okay. The hotel we stayed at was quiet.
Yeah.
Which was a bonus. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Just a good recap, kind of a video podcast style. I thought it'd be cool to talk about it and recap it. And if you guys ever get a chance to go, I highly recommend it. And
also, instead of everybody walking around like a zombie on their phone, everybody was talking to everybody.
That's true.
Everybody's getting along.
You had a few of the dumbasses on their phone in the middle of the aisle, like get out of the way.
But few and far between.
But yeah,
for the most part, just perfect strangers.
If somebody was on their phone, they were like videoing something cool.
Just everybody getting along. No one was fighting. No one was cussing at each other.
Nope.
Nothing but good positive vibes. So. That's the type of stuff you don't see on television or the media.
Yeah, they're not going to cover that.
No,
Why would they? Why would they cover?
No, because we're a bunch of baby killers, right? The school kid's blood is on our hands, according to that guy that was looking like Colonel Sanders with a lab coat on, standing outside. I don't know, but great experience. Met a lot of cool people. Love to do it again. Glad you brought me.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Anytime. Cool. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. Feel free to check out my merch at the bottom of the video in the merch tray. If you guys want to support the channel, you can do it there or on Patreon. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.
Peace.